Hey, and welcome back to Dinner and the Show. We're doing the reunion, part 1. Hey, y'all, welcome back. Yeah, get on in here. Y'all know we got to talk, right? It's Love and Marriage Huntsville reunion part 1. Oh, it's on. They was ready out the gates. But first, I'm going to show y'all what I have to eat so I won't have to stop no more. I'm eating New Year's Eve food, because that's what it is. Happy New Year's to y'all. Anyway, I have a stuffed egg. And what this is an egg stuffed with chicken salad. Ugh. Right? And then I have some good old pasta salad with shrimp, ham, onions, celery, cucumbers, tomatoes. It's a salad. We got a mini meatball sub, chicken tenders, and we got some spinach dip with chips. Okay? So that's what we're going to be grubbing on tonight as we talk, honey, because we most definitely got to talk about this. It was good, wasn't it? All right. So first we're going to say grace, and then we're going to get into Love and Marriage Huntsville. Gracious Lord, I truly thank you for this food I'm about to receive to nourish my body and to feed my soul. Lord, I thank you for Kimmy. Kimmy was bomb on the show. She looked great. And all these things I ask in your son, Jesus' name, amen. It's time to eat, y'all. So, what y'all think? They came in set on ready. Do you hear me? Right after the intro, it was like game on, okay? Y'all can't tell me Kimmy wasn't killing that dress. That does not look like a cancer survivor to me. She was killing it. Loved it. But anyway, right after the intro, honey, that's when the fireworks started. You could tell Melody Cherie. She didn't come to play no games tonight. I ain't mad. She had her agenda. She knew what she was doing. She wasn't taking no prisoners. She wasn't trying to be kiki with nobody. And the funny part about it is, if you honestly think about it, how Carlos came in, right, before the reunion, but before they hit wardrobe, makeup, and all that other good stuff. How he was like, so we just gonna have fun and we're gonna clear the air and all this other stuff. Went playing with them, making sure everybody was checking in that they was all right. And Melody played with them behind the scenes, but when she got on stage, Cherie came out. And Cherie sat there just as poised, answering questions. Loved it. I love her demeanor. I love it. I don't care what nobody say. She mean business, and that's what she meant. She wasn't there to play no games with them either. That's some good spinach dip. I just use onion, garlic, cream cheese, sour cream, Parmesan, and mozzarella cheese. That's it, y'all. Y'all better get in the kitchen. I'm ready for this sub. I'm gonna tell you how we come across the little meatballs, the mini meatball subs. They were supposed to be sliders, but y'all, that Hawaiian roll cost like $4 and $5 for 12, and that wasn't cost effective. So we had to go with the good old fashioned hot dog bun. Look at that. That's good too. Okay, back to Love and Marriage. Honey, they came out the gate swinging. I ain't even mad. Melanie held her composure the whole time. But I like how, just like I said, it got started early when they were talking about their successes, and Maurice was trying to say, we have these successes in spite of or whatever, and I don't want to congratulate everybody. And she looked at him, make sure your action says that. She did it. She went there. And she had reason. So when Carlos asked her, because y'all, Carlos is like low-key messy. Would y'all agree? He like low-key messy. So whenever somebody said someone disagreed, he dug into it. And I ain't mad, but he dug into it. He wanted to know, what happened? And she told about the interview, and like, I don't appreciate the way he describing me and Kimmy's relationship. He's not in it. It wasn't for him to answer. And I agree with that. And also, Kimmy being a good wife she is, came in and cleaned it up. That's a good woman. Love it. But now when they talking about the successes, and Carlos asked the question, Marcel, how do you feel, now that Tisha is the majority owner of Scope, that she done put down the frying pan and picked up a tool. How's it like working with your wife? Y'all, that man, you know what? He probably was dreading that question, but he answered it fully. He always said that he didn't want to work with her. And he said it on national TV again. That's good. But I think the part that really got to me was when Carlos asked Martell, do you regret selling, being bought out by them? And I like the way Martell answered. He was like, no, I don't regret it. And then teacher had to chime in, you should. And he was like, why? Because when I bought it, they were in the negative. And when I bought the majority for pennies on the dollar, now we're a multi-million-dollar company. Yeah, I like the way Martell got back with her. He was like, that was the plan. When we built that company, every company started, and he's telling the truth. You don't start out in the red. You don't start out in the black. You start out in the red because you're up and coming. In the negative. That's what she said. As if she got any dealings, or if she know what's going on in the business, Now let's get down to the meat and potatoes of this mug. It seemed like a lot of time was spent on whether Marceau has been cheating. Any truth to the allegations and whatnot. And hold on. Okay. First, it started out with Martell. Asking Martell, do he know if Marceau been with any woman other than Tisha? And this is when you can tell Carlos was beginning to see what they was doing. Did you see the way they were dancing around them questions? So Carlos put on his little messy boots. He was ready. They go into Marceau cheating. He starts off with Martell. Do you know of any truth to him having 20 women? Marceau like, well, I don't know the number. In which we get. Ooh. And then he asked him, well, do you know of him being with another woman since he's been married? Tisha chimed in, yes, me, his wife, I'm the only one, da-da-da-da-da. Carlos tilted over any woman other than Letitia. And I like the way Martell, so I'm not going to speak on that. Now, of course, when it came down to Mel said, yes, she knew of someone who said it was years ago. I like the way she was being clear. Marceau just something else. But anyway, was saying that it was years ago, before she knew that she didn't know he was married. Y'all. That's when everything was beginning to get rowdy then. Because it was one of those things. Letitia was trying to say, oh, that's the woman you want to pay to come on the show? You want to pay her $5,000 to come on the show? She was like, no, that's not how that went. It was asked would she be interested to go on the girls' trip, She said she need money. I said talk to production. And that's what I believe what she said. She didn't deny that the woman wanted money. It wasn't going to be Melody who gave her the money. If she got some money, it didn't come from production. And the purpose and the thing, here's what get me. Marceau. So if she came on a trip, how you know what she was going to say? She opened up that segment or that conversation or that statement saying she was going to come and tell Tisha, I didn't know he was married when blah, 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 blah. So, yeah, Melody knew what she was going to say because the woman had done told Melody what she was going to say. But he just talked and talked and talked. Oh, my goodness. It was horrible. And did y'all notice Tisha's body language throughout the entire reunion? That sister was fidgeting as all get out. She was moving. She was squirming and everything. She just could not be still. She knows something. She's afraid that it's about to come out. And I like the way Carlos called her out on it too, saying, you know, you may know something, or you may have had an inkling, or you may have something, but you're afraid to address it or to deal with it in the reality of that situation. And to even when he asked her, if you found that he was cheating, would you leave him? Did you see how she was stammering? We'll deal with it. We'll talk about it. We'll this, that, and the other. Eventually, I will leave him. Really? She know what's coming. She know what's coming. I guess she's preparing now. She know what's coming. That's the sad. That is what's really, really sad. She know what her marriage is. But by you putting your marriage on a pedestal and talking about everybody else's, and saying that you have complete confidence in Marceau and he's not being unfaithful, I think she know that he's been unfaithful. And you know how what goes on in the house stays in the house type of thing. It's been that way for years. And I think that's what's going on now. But by them being on this public platform now, you open game, bro. You open game. You should have came on the show knowing you had that many skeletons or whatever kind of skeletons in your closet. And your wife should not have been jaw-jacking, talking about she know what her husband doing, and she knows that he's loyal to her. That's all I'm saying. I feel like they set themselves up. Y'all want to put on this perfect facade. Time to take the mask off. Take it off. And be like everybody else. You ain't the first. You won't be the last. You didn't invent it. This egg right here. That's a good egg. That's a good egg. So, still with him cheating. Did y'all notice Martell didn't really answer a whole lot of questions? He just sat back giggling. Martell, he giggled at everything. I believe Martell was like, at least the heat ain't on me this year. It's on somebody else. Because he had his with Coleslaw. Remember, he had his drilling where everybody was coming at him. This reunion, everybody was coming at Marceau. Did y'all notice how everybody was checking Marceau? Everybody was checking Marceau. Like, say, for instance, they was talking about the sex parties at Credit One. And he was like, well, let everybody know that Marceau was very seldom there. Kimmy say, no, you were there. Kimmy checked his behind. Then they talking about the apartment, whether him and Martell owned an apartment. No, we ain't never owned no property, anything outside the scope. We didn't. I like the way Maurice said, you did. And even called out the name, Snag Run, some kind of, whatever it was. He called it out. Excuse me. He called out the apartment that they had. He said, no, we didn't. Maurice said, yes, you did. I like the way Maurice was looking him in his face, saying, yes, you did, as if he said, I ain't finna keep lying for you. You ain't finna take me down with your lies. He made a point. He stood 10 toes on that. Boy, he gained points with me on that. Lord have mercy. Now, we ain't gonna talk about when Kiki come on the stage. Yeah, Tisha done got to squirming some more. And what got me was, when she walked off the stage, I'm going to let them have that. That's her puppet. I'm going to let her have that. Referring to Melody and Kiki, as Kiki being Melody's puppet, right? And she come back with 2 puppets on the stage. Y'all, I'm thinking to myself, really? You really brought puppets on the stage? What y'all think of that? That is so weird to me. Who bring props to a reunion? For her to bring props, meaning she put a lot of thought into this, meaning, you know, she actually had to put forth an effort, if nothing but to get them made, or if she made them, or whatever, some time, some money, some effort. It was a thought process, and it wasn't a short one, because, you know, you can't get no puppet made in 15, 20 minutes, you know what I'm saying? Excuse me, but to me, that is so weird. It's almost giving obsessed. I think she's obsessed with Mel. I promise you I do. It seems like she got a problem. You know, that's where all her animosity lies. Regardless of whatever else is going on, just like Marceau told her, you don't want to move on. You don't want to move on to be cordial. It's you the one want to hold on to that grudge. And I believe it wholeheartedly now. She really don't want to move on. She want to stay mad. Honestly, I just think Tisha has a problem with anybody who is friends with Mel, number one. And if you're not saying and doing what she wants you to do, she's questioning the friendship. Oh, y'all, look at that. Y'all see that shrimp right there? Oh, yeah. That's good. But yeah, that's Tisha's problem. And you can tell it with her being on the stage. That's her body language. Every time a woman was up there talking, she was wiggling. Because she didn't want to hear, or she knew she wasn't going to like nothing that nobody had to say. Because the truth is seeping out. It's going to be silent, but it's going to be deadly. It's seeping out. I'm going to be ready for part 2. Because that's when all the good stuff should be coming on out then. They done went through the little pity pat. We ain't gonna say pity pat. They did cover some good ground. They covered some good ground. So part 2 should be. Y'all think it's gonna hit the fan? I want it to. Hey, what about this? Miss Wanda was pretty quiet tonight, wasn't she? I don't even know how I feel about that. You know, folk, them quiet ones be the crazy ones. But she was quiet tonight. What y'all think of that? Y'all think they schooled her and told her, look here, don't go in here and start no mess, and whatever you heard or whatever you done, you leave that where it's at. And I don't know. She was trying to get at Kiki, but I don't think Kiki was her original target. You know what I'm saying? Well, I don't know. Whatever pep talk they gave her, it worked. Because her behind was quiet as a church mom. She only said one thing, tell the truth. That's all she said. So yeah, I'm getting ready next week. And y'all, I'm also looking forward to Love and Marriage DC. I don't know if y'all watch it or not, but I watched the very first episode because I like Monique Samuels. I watched her when she was on Real Housewives of Potomac, and I didn't like the way she left. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of iffy, but we'll get into that later. But I like her. And now it looks like Joy and Clifton is going to be on there from Ready to Love. Last season of Ready to Love, as a matter of fact. That should be good. Well, y'all, I'm going to finish eating. And I got to clean up and I got to go to bed. I'm tired, y'all. But thank you for having dinner with me, and Happy New Year to all of y'all. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe. I'm new to YouTube. You subscribe to me, I subscribe back. Show me love, I'll come show you love. And also, don't forget to click, like, comment, and share, okay? I'll see y'all next week. Things getting good here.